We'll talk about that in a moment from now. Meanwhile, let's give a sense to our viewers of who are the leaders who are going to be arriving. Of course, we've started to see leaders who are arriving already. Top heads of states from across the world are converging in Delhi City, the national capital of the country, to attend the G20 Leaders Summit. Over 2 days, the nation's capital is going to play host to US President Joseph Biden, Britain's Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, and Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, among others.
US President Joe Biden has departed for New Delhi, and of course he will be one of those most high-profile guests to be attending the summit. Prime Minister Modi and US President Joe Biden will also hold bilateral talks right away, tonight itself, as and when the US President arrives. Now, Spain's President Pedro Sanchez has announced that his tests for COVID-19 have come positive, which means Spain's president is not arriving, but they are sending senior leaders from the government. Already, remember, Mauritius Prime Minister, Nigerian President, IMF's Managing Director and European Union Commission President have arrived in India, and it's set to begin. India is the host. Remember, the spotlight will be on our country to put our best feet forward.
Of course, the Bharat Mandapam is the center, and critical issues here will be discussed: the economy, the environment, and of course, our sustainable developmental goals as a group of 20.
So, Sneha, you know, it's imperative to understand, and I've lived in Delhi all my life, and we've seen several VVIP movements. This is not new to the Delhi police, yes, but of that nature, when you have a US president, you have a UK Prime Minister, we're talking about the world leaders in Delhi, and what an incredible moment. But I'm sure the security personnel will be with bated breath ensuring everything goes well.
Absolutely. You know, Pooja, if you recall, when the Prime Minister had just come back from Bengaluru after felicitating ISRO scientists, he had spoken about the fact at the very outset, when he arrived at the airport, that there will be restrictions and there will be inconvenience, but of course this is for the larger good. This is the G20, the prestigious G20. India is at the helm this time around, and we have to put our best foot restrictions. And Aishwarya is there. Aishwarya, we did see in your frame, and we'll try to get across to you again for those movement that's happening right now, right outside where essentially is going to be halted or stopped for some time. Just talk to us a little about the restrictions in that particular area.
Well, some of the major restrictions that the authorities, the Delhi police and all the other agencies have put in place is that no movement will be allowed if you do not have a pass. The kind of vehicles that we'll show you, these are the Delhi police vehicles that one can very clearly see. They have been taking rounds because this is the area where the top leaders of the world, the top leaders, the delegates will be coming at. We are standing right outside gate number 6, the huge Bharat Mandapam that you see in the visuals. This is the place where they will be coming. So this entire area, almost, 5 to 6 kilometer, the radius of 5 to 6 kilometer has been converted into a fortress. I don't know whether you'll be able to see the police deployment, the barricades there, but yes, there is extremely heavy police deployment almost every 50-60 meters. If you do not have a valid reason to be in and around this area, then the advice given by the Delhi police is that you stay put where you are. But yes, if there is some kind of movement that you want to do, then you will have to show some kind of documents. Even we have been given passes,
yes.
Once we show the passes only, then we are being allowed to move in this area. If we speak about the metro services, however, will be functioning as per normal except the Supreme Court. Now, that's one station which will be completely shut off on the 9th and on the 10th. But apart from that, if you have a very valid reason and you have the documents with you, then movement will be allowed. But yes, if you do not have a valid reason, then at least this area, the entire central Delhi area, will be off for you for at least the next 48 hours.
All right, Aishwarya, remember, is only one of our massive colleagues team that is going to be there right at the Bharat Mandapam. I'm here in virtually one of the halls. This is going to be one of the halls inside the Bharat Mandapam. We're trying to give you as much sneak preview as much as possible till our reporters on the ground also will get you the real picture about what exactly is the situation on the ground. But remember, we're talking about 20 nations, developed nations, developing countries, their prime ministers and presidents are arriving. This is a big moment for our country. It's a rotational presidency pretty sure. But it's a moment to come at a very crucial juncture when the global order is also witnessing a change. Who's set to arrive and when? Who's going to be receiving them? Let's begin first, one by one, at the arrivals that we are expecting. Now remember, UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak is set to arrive at about 1:40 p.m. in the afternoon. He'll be one of those first high-profile guests to arrive. Followed by Rishi Sunak will be another president that will set to arrive, and let's go across to that. Mohammed bin Salman, he's the Crown Prince, of course, of Saudi Arabia, and his arrival is expected at about 4:50 p.m. in the evening. So once Rishi Sunak arrives, that high-profile arrivals are set to begin right away. Anthony Albanese, Prime Minister of Australia, at 6:15 p.m. Very sharp timings. There's a reason we are telling you not 6 or 7, but exactly when it's scheduled. That's how precise the security arrangement is. At about 6:55 p.m., one of the biggest high-profile guests will be U.S. President Joseph Biden, and he's going to arrive, and there is immediately going to be a bilateral meeting as well at Prime Minister Modi's residence in the evening, actually by tonight. And then Justin Trudeau, Canadian Prime Minister, arrival expected by about 7 p.m. There is enough separation of the timing, remember, between each Premier or the President. That is to ensure a smooth carcade and, of course, the arrival that is received by the senior ministers of state by the government. Li Qiang, Prime Minister China, who was supposed to come, remember, Xi Jinping of the President of China, but he, at the last minute, via Foreign Affairs Ministry, said he will not be arriving. He's attended all the summits of G20, but because India was hosting it, they do not want it to be a successful one for India. They decided not to come. They can play a spoil sport all they want. But Olaf Scholz, Chancellor Germany, will be arriving at about 8 p.m. and that is going to be on Saturday. So this is, remember, over time, over the next 2 days, as and when these arrivals set to begin. And eventually, Emmanuel Macron, French President, arriving on Saturday in the afternoon, just when the G20 officially, the event starts. Events, remember, are on the 9th and 10th. So it's going to be a very important, significant evening. And through the day, through the evening, our reporters, our colleagues are going to get you the best updates, the latest and the fresh ones to come through the evening.